Welcome back to the LumiosePost, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and here we are. We're at the end of the year. My God, did it go by fast? Christmas also went by fast, which, in case you didn't notice, is my favorite time of year. So that kind of sucks, but we're here to be positive, and I am positive. I'm very positive about this year. It's been a great year for me, both on YouTube and personally. And I just wanted to do a end of the year video. This is something that I've always done. This is only my second time doing it with LumiosePost, but I've done things in the past. Believe it or not, I wasn't a YouTuber as a baby. I used to do a travel blog and had like a little photo company and all this, and I would always do these end of year reviews. I think they're just a great time to reflect myself, not just sit there and think about, but to say it out loud and all, but also to connect with your audience, and talk about what's going on, keep them in the loop on, your thoughts on this year and your thoughts on what's coming. So that's exactly what I want to do. And we've got a lot of big announcements in this video for the multiple channels in the LumiosePost franchise, if you will. The LumiosePost Cinematic Universe, the Lumi Cinematic Universe, or the LCU, if you will. And then we're going to do a little AMA at the end of it. Y'all put in a bunch of questions, and I'm going to answer those. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so first, let's just look back at this year. Again, it's been great for me personally, outside of YouTube, and also just in YouTube. Outside of YouTube, honestly, it's just been one of those feel-good years, right? This is my wife and I's second year of marriage, full year. We got married December 18th of 2021. So this is our second full year, we've been able to take some trips this past year. We went to Asheboro, North Carolina, and went to see the zoo there. We stayed at these getaway cabins. It was absolutely beautiful. It was great. And we want to do some more traveling in 2024, and that's actually very relevant to this channel, but we'll get to that. On YouTube, wow. So this was the first full year of Hidden Power, which of course is a Pokemon podcast where I myself host, as well as Dusty Gogo and Soul Silver Art. We started that November 22nd of 2022. So, again, this was the first full calendar year of Hidden Power. It has blown up. There are so many of you supporting us either via YouTube memberships or the members of the channel, as well as on Patreon. Thank y'all so much for that. If any of y'all happen to be over here watching, thank y'all so much for that. And even outside of that, just the views we get on videos, the nice comments we get have been phenomenal. This also was the first year that we started working with guests. I'm not going to list all the guests because, to be frank with you, we have had so many. I know I will forget one, but we've had so many guests on the channel and on Hidden Power, and that is phenomenal. That was so cool. Like I said, this is not... I haven't been doing YouTube for too long, right? It'll be 2 years on March 2nd. So, obviously, I was a Pokemon fan before then, and I watched YouTube. So, to get to work with content creators that I, was familiar with and was even a fan of before I ever, got my own platform, that is insane. And that's all because of the support you guys have been showing over on Hidden Power. So, I am eternally grateful for that. It has been a blast. And of course, it's fun to just be able to sit around and talk about Pokemon with your friends, and be able to produce content for you all and have those conversations with y'all. We've done live streams, we've done just videos where we've answered some questions and stuff and interacted with y'all, and that's been truly, it's been a huge blessing. So again, thank y'all for that. This was also the first year that I launched LumioseTower, which is my battle channel, which if you're not subscribed to, you totally should. I post a battle weekly, At one point, I was posting bi-weekly. I was putting out some discussion videos, and that is something that I hope to dabble a little bit more in. I don't want to force it. I'm the type of guy who I would rather put out something that my heart is in and that it's good than to just throw out something because I said I was going to throw out something that day. So we have recently on LumioseTower really just been doing the weekly battle video on Tuesdays, and there's gonna be some changes around with that, so again, stay tuned. But that has been a lot of fun. It's been a blessing to be able to battle people and be able to kind of have something that's driving me to connect with more people and battle with more people, because pre-YouTube I only battle my wife, so and she's a great battler, but it's cool to battle multiple people, right? Eventually, like, her and I know each other's strategies. We're super familiar with each other's minds. So it is nice to have a change of pace with that. And this was a platform that kind of forced me to do that. And that is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. Likewise, it is also just cool to kind of have that outlet. And it's on the back burner, right? Like, like I said, I'm just putting one weekly battle video. It's actually pretty easy to edit. And that's great. It's not a monetized channel or anything. I think I have like 417 subscribers at the time that I'm recording this. So, it's nothing too crazy, but it's a blessing nonetheless. Thank y'all for your support over there as well. And then there's LumiosePost, our channel here. And wow, we have gained a ton of subscribers. I think we've gained like around 5,000 subscribers this year, which is absurd. We've had huge videos. Another thing I want to point out is that my two favorite YouTubers before I was a YouTuber myself were Shady Penguin and Birdkeeper Toby. Both doing two different things. Shady Penguin did a lot of when I first was introduced to his channel. He did a lot of Wi-Fi battles. He does Let's Plays, Nuzlocke, all that stuff. Birdkeeper Toby does the more theory videos, which obviously inspired a lot of my channel. And this year I got to work with one of them. I got to work with Birdkeeper Toby. We did a video here. We've done videos on Hidden Power. I've done a few videos on his channel, and all of that is just insane. And all in his last year too. So also, Toby, if you're watching, I just want to say, man, good luck, with whatever's next. I know you're going to kill it because you truly changed the Pokemon community. And for the better, of course. And I can't wait to see what you do next, whether that's a return to YouTube one day or whether it's, you going and becoming a Hollywood superstar, being our next big Marvel superhero. Whatever you do, man, I know you're going to kill it. And I'm rooting for you. And we are going to miss you over here on YouTube, but it's bittersweet, man. We're going to miss you, but I'm so happy you're following something you love. But getting that sappiness out of the way, getting to work with Birdkeeper Toby, dream come true. I'm going to be a fangirl for a minute and, not really care that he's supposed to be my peer and just say, that was awesome that I got to work with Birdkeeper Toby. And again, right before he left the YouTube scene. So I got lucky. But yeah, again, this is the big underlining theme of this video. This is all because of you all supporting this channel. You all, clicking on videos. That eventually grows my channel and gains me recognition, right? So I owe it all to you guys. Thank y'all so much. So, I'm not going to lie. I've got a little cheat sheet here because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm going to talk about what's next on each platform. So, first off, Hidden Power. Can't really say too much on what's next because obviously I don't decide that solely. Like I said, it is with Dusty Go-Goat and Soul Silver Art, so they definitely have some input too. But I think I speak for them when I say you can expect more guests, you can expect more tier lists, you can expect more drama. Not like real drama, but like arguments because Soul has terrible takes on Pokemon designs. All that fun stuff, it'll be there on Hidden Power. And whatever gets announced Pokemon Day, you know that we will be talking about that year round as well. Very excited for that. Then over on Lumiose Tower. So I have done 2 kind of themed battles throughout the year on Lumiose Tower. Both were actually against Jordan Pollock, who I've probably battled more than anyone over on Lumiose Tower. Great friend of mine, amazing battler. And the first one we did was we used our Scarlet and Violet playthrough teams. The second one we did like 2 of our favorite starters of each type. So like I used my 2 favorite grass type starters, my 2 favorite fire type starters, and my 2 favorite water type starters. So that was a ton of fun, and it got me thinking, I want to do more themed battles. So starting not this coming week, but the next week, my battles are going to be focused on types for a little bit here. You know, we're going to see if we can win battles using all normal type Pokemon, all dragon type Pokemon, all flying type Pokemon, etc., etc. That's not the actual order. I'm going to kind of let my opponents choose what Pokemon we're all using, but I want to do more of those themed battles. The dream would even be to one day maybe be able to host some kind of tournament or league. That's a lofty goal, and that takes a lot of preparation and work, and Lumiose Tower's size is not really at the size to justify all that work just yet, but maybe that'll happen this year. If not, it's something that I want to build towards. So yeah, hopefully I get to battle some big names in the community as well. You know, I got to battle Dusty Go-Go and Kayla's Capsule this year. Hopefully also I got to battle Scott in a VGC battle, Scoot Easy. And so many other YouTubers as well I've battled over this year. Again, I shouldn't have listed those because I don't want to offend anybody that I forget. Those are all relatively recent, so that's just where my brain goes. But everyone I've battled is a star in my eyes. I hope to battle more stars in the future, both old and new. Then also, coming to Lumiose Tower, this is where that travel stuff, kind of me wanting to travel more, comes in. So I am currently registered to be in Charlotte for a VGC regionals. Now, Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. Somewhere in January. I think it's like around the 20th, but don't hold me to that. But yeah, I'm going to be competing in that. I probably will be losing. In fact, I'm not winning that thing. When I say I'll probably be losing, I mean like I will 0-3 drop, probably. But it will be my first time at a regionals, so I'm really excited for that. You know, I hope to meet people, I hope to see people, I hope to battle people, and I am very excited to also be kind of recording my experience, and I want to be able to do a video on that. Likewise, we do have the Orlando regionals will be coming up later in the year, and I hope to attend that as well and be able to record that as well. And that's kind of an idea I want to do, is like more local tournaments in my area, more regionals, and do a kind of vlog approach to those things. So yeah, that's something you can look forward to over on Lumiose Tower. Both, you know, regional vlogs as I go to them, maybe even locals vlogs, or maybe even just, I don't know what each of these things looks like, right? So I have an idea in my head, but I don't know how exactly it'll look. But at the very least, something like this where I'm talking about what my experience was like. So all those things coming to Lumiose Tower. Make sure you sub there. All of this will be linked in the description below, by the way. It is every video, just so you're aware. But then, moving into this channel, moving into LumiosePost, the main bread and butter, the nucleus of my YouTube cell. I really should have wrote down. I have notes on here, and I should have wrote down like a good analogy, but nope, we did on the spot. And now we've said nucleus was cell, the cell of the nucleus of the cell, the YouTube cell, and we can't take that back anymore. We have to live with that. But, so, this channel has been just shocking to me how fast we've grown, how I know others have grown faster. I don't care. It's faster than I ever expected to grow. And we keep growing, and I love it. I want to keep putting out amazing theories. Or at least I think they're amazing. I hope you all think they're amazing. I want to keep working hard on videos. But I have very much enjoyed lately. I've been doing these kind of long form videos where I've just been talking about certain topics. Over the year, I've talked about like what I called Homegate, like the issues with Pokemon Home. I've talked about Pokemon's marketing and how, it's not really the best marketing. I've talked about leaks, and even this past week, I did a video talking about, some potential hints to an Africa or maybe even Netherlands Gen 10 region, and also, the kind of state of the Black and White rumors, the Black and White remake rumors, and if that still holds up now, and all that fun stuff. And I love doing those long form content. I feel like it is different from my normal content, because here's the thing, I've always said this. So when I do the podcast with Hidden Power, with Dusty and Soul, I get to have this conversation, right? And we get to kind of bounce ideas off each other, and I don't have to have like a plan, and I get to be more myself. Like I feel like I get to show my personality a little bit more in Hidden Power. Whereas here, with theory videos, I don't feel like I get to do that as much, and that's just because there's a focus to theory videos, right? The point is to show this theory and to try to prove it correct or whatever, it's like a lecture, right? And your professor isn't really showing a lot of personality in his lecture. And these kind of videos get me to do that, and they also get me to be able to engage a little bit more with you guys, and I love doing that because you guys rock. Y'all have such cool ideas. Most of you are so nice. Some of y'all are kind of turds, if I'm honest, but most of you are very nice. And I love interacting with you guys. Believe it or not, my wife actually says I'm crazy, because genuinely, I read every single comment. I read every single one of your comments, and I love reading them. Again, except for the meme ones. Some of y'all really know how to hit you where it hurts, but I love reading your comments. I love engaging with y'all. And I feel like with those longer form videos, I can do that. And that's why in 2024, we will be launching the Paradox podcast with LumiosePost. That's me. And what this is going to be a platform for me to give these more long form contents, as well as maybe do some things with the channel that I don't traditionally do. Like recently we had a Hidden Power video go up where I made like a PowerPoint on what a Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida region could look like, and we covered it on Hidden Power. I had so much fun making that PowerPoint. So this would be like a cool place for me to be able to do that. Like for me to be able to go, all right, Brazil. This is what a Brazil region could look like, and make a PowerPoint on it and go over it, with you guys. So it's going to provide a place for me to do those kind of longer videos and more personal videos, more ranty videos, and I'm super excited for that. You don't have to worry. It's not like a separate channel that you're going to go sub on. It's going to be right here on LumiosePost. I do not know how frequent these will be, because obviously I don't want to, solidify, it's going to be once every week, twice every week, whatever. Because then if it crashes and burns, it's a little bit harder for me to reroute. It's going to be something that's put up periodically. And, obviously, as reception grows, the amount we see grows. So, really excited for that. But yeah, I be looking for that. It'll always be in the thumbnail when, it's one of those episodes. So, keep your eyes out for that. So excited for that. Want to make sure I didn't miss any other notes before we move on. One last thing. So, I love Christmas. It's not Christmas time anymore. To be honest, I stretched it by making it start November 1st and lasting to January 31st. Or December 31st, excuse me. So we gotta say goodbye to the Christmas tree. Goodbye, Christmas tree. I'm not gonna put it up or anything, because I don't really, want to do that on video. That's not entertaining at all. And also, I gotta take all the ornaments and stuff off it. But the point is, the Christmas tree will be gone after this. So, goodbye, Christmas tree. F in the chat for the Christmas tree in the comments below. Now, we get into the fun part. Like I said, I have asked you guys to ask me questions. A lot of these I have only kind of glanced over, so this will be brand new to me. But I'm really excited, frankly, a little bit nervous to read these questions. So, first off, I'm going to be over on Twitter. We have Jordan Pollock. He asked, what's the best fire starter and why is it Embor? Well, the best fire starter is, in my opinion, Charizard. I know that's super basic. And for your why is it Embor, Jordan, I'm going to be frank with you. I have been using Embor a little bit in Scarlet and Violet, and he's grown on me. Does he outclass Charizard? No. But I am starting to like him okay. Like, I would put him at B tier now. And, you know, like a higher B tier. He looks really good in Scarlet and Violet, so there you go. I think that'll make you very happy. Merry Christmas. From Gurren, we have, what 3 Pokemon or their evolution lines would you like to see in SV? I mean, I know the Dex is probably what it is and whatever can be added via updates, but for me, I'd like to see Onix and Steelix. I'd like to see Crystal Onix and Steelix. That's what I'd like to see. But no, if I could add any Pokemon to Scarlet and Violet, it'd probably be Pokemon I'm missing, which I'm going to be really boring and say Swellow and Pidgeot. That'd be 2 right there. Swellow and Pidgeot, I miss them so much. Swellow, Pidgeot, if you're listening, I miss you guys so much. And I hope to see you soon. Then the other spot, honestly, dude, it rotates so much. But right now, I'm feeling Melmetal. I miss Melmetal. I love Melmetal. I think Melmetal's so cool. Melmetal is like my first, maybe second favorite mythical. So I miss Melmetal. I hope it's in the next game because it wasn't in this one. That made me sad. Then Ben, or Tam Valley, said, if you could choose where a future Pokemon region was based off of, what country / part of the world would you pick? 100% bias here, but I would pick the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia region. Again, we did a video on this on Hidden Power, and I think I made a good case for how this is at least a region that could be done and be done well. Like, it has so much potential. I think people hear that and they go, okay, but what does the southern U.S. have other than farms and racism? And it's like, okay, first off, everywhere has racism, unfortunately, because the world sucks. But second off, it has so much more than farms, man. Like, it's so beautiful. Beaches, mountains, everything. Absolutely, that'd be my pick. Jordan Pollock, serious question. What direction do you see your channel going on in 2024? Pokemon, think I answered that part. And Pokemon related, what do you want to see in a Gen 10 game? What side games do you want in Gen 9? Like Snap, Mystery Dungeon. I don't care too much about the Pokemon side games, but dude, anything Pokemon Snap related, I am 5,000% there for. Whether that's new Pokemon Snap DLC, which is incredibly unlikely, or a new Pokemon Snap 2, or would it be new Pokemon Snap 3 because it's the 3rd Snap game? I don't know. Again, very unlikely, but I'd love it. I also think that there's like a chance they could do a Pokemon game that I'm not thinking of, like a spin-off game that I'm not like thinking about. That'd be a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of fan suggestions for like a Pokemon game that'd be really cool. One thing I've thought of is like Zoo Tycoon, if any of you remember that, but with Pokemon. I like that idea a lot. Also, Battle Stadium games, Stadium, Battle Revolution, Coliseum, those kinds of games. That would be really cool. XD Gale of Darkness, I would also love, like, that, whether it's a port of it or a remake of it or a new game that is like that. Would love that. And what Pokemon, what do I want to see in a Gen 10 game? I want to make sure I answer that part of the question. Mega's return. I don't care if it's alongside a new gimmick. If they just bring that back and make it like the gimmick of Gen 10 and add more Megas, that's what I want to see. I want to see Megas. I don't care if they add any or not. They cannot. That's fine. I also want to see regional variants return. They were in this game, but very small amount, just Taurus and Wooper. I want more than that. Then, what do you want Gen 10 box legendaries to be based on and what typing? I'm gonna be frank, I don't really care about legendaries. I don't. I like to battle, so I like to use, like, you know, the Pokemon that don't get, like, restricted and sent straight to Ubers and stuff. But I really like my idea of a Kraken legendary and a giant sky manta ray that was in my Carolinas region. Ocean animals are so cool, and some of them are so freaking terrifying. So give me some ocean animals. Again, if I got name specifics, Kraken or giant manta ray would be really, really cool. Okay, then this is from, and that is from Mazhar Siddiqui, and I'm probably going to butcher these names, and I'm so sorry about that. Then from Arcane, we have Lumi. You meet the biggest manufacturer and distributor of Pokeballs and Kalos, and he tells you to invent a new ball. What would it be used for, and what would it look like? I like the ones that are kind of, that are specialized, right? Like the ones that, dive balls work well on Pokemon that live underwater and stuff like that. So I would say take the Feather Ball from Legends Arceus, or that line of balls, like the Feather, Wing, and Jet, I think is what they were, and give them a modern version, right? Because the Pokeball has a modern version, the Heavy Ball has a modern version, the Feather Ball doesn't, so give it a modern version, and then obviously it'll make sense to, instead of making it on flying types, I would make it on Pokemon that are flying, you know what I mean? So if you encounter like a wild Staravia and it's not, flying, it's like sitting on the ground, or like a Heracross is sitting on the ground or whatever, it won't work. But if you find a wild Heracross that is, flying, it would work then. I think that would be really neat. I think that'd be a nice twist in mechanics. But yeah, that would be my pick. That's over on Twitter. We're going to hop over on YouTube. I'm going to do a little cut here so I have time to pull it up on YouTube. Okay, so next we have Elite Trainer Kimway, and Elite Trainer Kimway said if you could add any Pokemon to new Pokemon Snap, ... And I will say, that's a good question, because I feel like so many would look really good in Pokemon Snap. I've been on a Sceptile high recently, so I'm going to say Sceptile. I think that could be really, really cool on new Pokemon Snap, I'm not going to lie. Then King Nito added to that and said, or even what features such as free roaming. I guess that's kind of in the SV DLC. Free roaming would be cool, like to be able to go off the track. I don't know how they make that. Anything to kind of get the Pokemon to be able to do a certain interaction or whatever, that'd be fine with me. Shiny Pokemon, that's an obvious one. Shiny Pokemon, that'd be my feature. Then Blackmeister asked, do you think about uploading a Let's Play of new Pokemon Snap? Probably not. I don't want to start a new save file, to be honest. I like going through the tracks when they're at max level, and honestly, I don't think people would be too interested in me doing a new playthrough of Pokemon Snap, because I've played it before. But I do love Pokemon Snap, and I hope that Dusty Go-Goat and Soul Silver Art do a playthrough of new Pokemon Snap and upload it, because I would totally watch that. They have not played it. So then, Decidueye Guy 9588 says, would you prefer the next Unova game be set in the past and the next Johto game set in the future? I know it might not happen because of the paradox, but that might not matter, or it might be a reverse hint to the next games. Pokemon do like to keep us on our toes. That's exactly right, they do. I'd prefer a Legends Johto game, so that be in the past, and Unova in the future. But Pokemon's Pokemon, I'm game for whatever. I do trust GameFreak. I know that's a weird thing to say right now, but dude, Legends was so good. Like, I think Scarlet and Violet was very good, but even if you don't like Scarlet and Violet, Legends was right before that. They still make great games. So then, J0 Grin said, do you want the original dragon to have an ability so its secondary typing can be fire, electric, or ice, or just always be pure dragon? That would be sick if, like, it can have electric, fire, and ice. And that really works well with Tri-Attack. Oh my gosh. And it was 3 heads. I think we just put together like an amazing theory. Huh. Okay, well, yeah, I think that would be best for it. Make it broken. They did some crazy stuff with Terapagos. Let's do some crazy stuff with the original dragon. It's been a long time coming. It deserves it. Then Jeffrey C50 said, what's your why? Why'd you start the channel? What's your drive to continue to produce great content? And what's your ultimate goal? My why? Well, it all started with, why'd I start the channel? It all started genuinely because I talked to my wife so much about Pokemon. She finally looked at me and said, dude, you should start a YouTube channel because, like, worst case scenario, you put out stuff and no one watches it. So, like, you have nothing to be embarrassed about. But best case scenario, you put it out and you get to talk about Pokemon all the time, like you're already doing, and just make money off of it. And that is why I started it. But it took off, and I get a lot of fulfillment out of this, and I get good ideas from you guys. I thought it'd be a lot of being able to help me by throwing stuff outward, but I get a lot of stuff inward too, and that's really, really cool. Then, what's your drive to continue to produce great content? Basically that. And what's your ultimate goal? Ultimate goal. I don't know. I'm the kind of person, I don't really like to make huge goals, because then if that doesn't happen, it's upsetting. But I think the dream, right, would be to, like, make a living wage off of YouTube, like, to, have YouTube be my primary job and not something that has to come second to providing for me and my family. That would be probably the ultimate goal. Then Comic 145 said, what kind of character do you think would be the next Volo of Legends Johto or Paradox Unova? Well, I actually did a Legends Johto video, and I proposed that the villain could be Price, or Price's ancestor. I think that would be kind of cool. Volo was not obvious, but in a way it is, because it's the champion, right? It's going to be the champion or the professor or the villain, right? So make it some random gym leader. I think that would be cool. Then, what is your analysis of Terapagos' backstory and the purpose of that incredible amount of crystal protecting in Area 0? I think it's cool that Terapagos was like, they thought it was extinct and there used to be a bunch of them in ancient Paldea. I really like that. The crystal protecting in Area 0, it's interesting to me. I gotta admit, I haven't done too much analysis on it because I just haven't had the time to do too much analysis on it. But other things have caught my attention a little bit more. But it's interesting. Terapagos is really intelligent. For such a baby turtle, it's like practically like a god, like, honestly. But then we have the Old Caller Bronzong. That was from the Old Caller Bronzong. Sendo 1000 is next. Which of the Paradox Legends is your favorite? Easily Walking Wake. Raging Bolt is also very good, but easily Walking Wake. Then, what's the part of Pokemon that keeps you hooked and coming back for more? That's Kirby Slayer 150. New Pokemon, obviously, is a big part, but I feel like that's kind of a lame answer. So, honestly, I would say the exploration and travel part of Pokemon games. I love that Pokemon bases their games off of real-world countries and, regions and states and areas, whatever have you. I love that so much, and it's cool. It's really cool. That's, like, my favorite thing in the world, is getting to see these real places be Pokemonized, if you will. I love that. So that honestly is something that keeps me going back for more, is the exploration, the adventure part of Pokemon. Then, Brian Klein, 9504, says, with the Switch life coming to an end, will GameFreak release the GBC and GBA games on the Nintendo Online emulators? Honestly, I would like Uno reverse that kinda, and say that because the Nintendo Switch life is coming into an end, it's not gonna happen, and it'll happen on the Switch successor. That is my guess. I also think it's great to either hold those until... I would love it if they dropped them tomorrow, but I could see them holding those until the 30th anniversary, or I could see those, which would be 2026, or I could see those dropping them in 2025 with the Gen 10 coming out that year, kind of like they did with Sun and Moon, where the Red, Blue, and Yellow games came out that year. But then again, that was because it was the 20th anniversary. So maybe they would, I don't know. But I think it'll be on the Switch successor, not the Switch. Blackmeister also asked, do you want another Pokemon battle against Blackmeister? Of course I do. And I'm sure we will have a fun one sooner rather than later. Then Deceptions says, what's your prediction on the region of Gen 10? Where you think it will take place? Well, I think I answered that in my last video, but your comment was before that, so no shame. But I would bet the Netherlands right now. Then the Old Caller Bronzong also said, what's your opinion on the theory that the Great Crater of Paldea is a collapsed volcano? Personally, I actually think it was a meteorite. I don't think it was a collapsed volcano, unless it was a volcano that was collapsed by a meteorite. The reason I think this is because there's so much evidence of Terrastol being tied to, and the time machine, which was powered by Terapagos and all, and the energy down Area Zero, being connected to infinity energy, which there's so much evidence for infinity energy coming from space. I mean, that's confirmed, guys, let's be honest. So I would say probably an asteroid. Something brought that infinity energy down there. And if infinity energy is from space, well, an asteroid makes a lot of sense. By the way, I don't know the difference between asteroids, comets, meteors, all that. So I'm sorry if asteroid isn't the correct term there and it's supposed to be meteor. You know what I mean, though. Then we have Caitlin Soul. What is a Pokemon that you hate that everyone loves, and the opposite? A Pokemon I hate that everyone loves. I don't know. I don't hate a lot of Pokemon is the thing. And a lot of the ones I do hate are Pokemon that I feel like a lot of people hate. You know, like things like Girder, Conkeldurr, the Simis. And so probably my best example would be Golden Go. But even that Pokemon I wouldn't say is beloved. But yeah, that's the best I can think of. And then the opposite, a Pokemon I love that everyone hates. I don't think there is one, to be honest. What Pokemon do people hate? Like I said, a lot of the ones that I feel like people hate, that I can think of that people hate, I also dislike. So I don't know. I will say there are a lot of Pokemon that, like, I don't talk about just how much I love them. Like Muck. I love Muck. That is the coolest Pokemon ever. Not literally, but like very high up there. I don't think Muck is hated, but I don't think anybody loves Muck as much as I love Muck. So there's that. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That is our questions. Thank you all so much for joining me on this, good God, like 40-minute journey. Thank you all so much for the questions, for the support. Super excited for 2024. I will see all of you next year.